You're watching Play Unplugged TV.
Enrico Nardini here with PlayUnplugged.com, and I'm here with James Takenaka from Bandai. And one of the things that we'd like to talk about a little bit is the Resident Evil deck building card game. One of the great things that I thought, James, about the deck building card game for Resident Evil is it can bring fans from video games. Now on our website, we're all about face-to-face play. It can bring the fans of the Resident Evil card game and give them that feel in a face-to-face, fans of the Resident Evil video game, and give them a face-to-face gaming experience. Could you tell us a little bit about what kind of got you guys into doing this card game and how it developed?
Okay, well, sure. Bandai was known for making a lot of collectible card games, and obviously with the economy and kind of the down market, collectible card games became very expensive for players to play. And obviously Dominion came out, created, really jump-started this deck building game category. And so obviously it became an idea that we could still kind of do this collectible card game function, but you don't have to spend as much money to play that style. And we were looking, we kind of assumed everyone kind of knew what Dominion was, but we had come up with this Resident Evil idea, to create the deck building game. And when we went out there, we discovered, well, a lot of these kids don't know what Dominion is. So they knew what Resident Evil was, but they didn't know what Dominion was. So we were realizing we have an opportunity to bring in a lot of new players into the deck building game category. So, not just trying to take deck building game players to come to our game, but actually bring in new customers. So, we were really excited when we discovered that. We thought the game was fun. The main thing that I thought made it fun was, when I play Dominion, if another player is better than me, he usually always wins. I can't beat him. But with Resident Evil, we created the mansion where it was face down, and so there's this little bit of a luck factor involved. So even though I may be the best player and I can create the best deck, I might get unlucky.
You'll be able to manipulate probabilities in your favor, but at the same time, there's still an aspect of luck involved. You walk into the wrong room, you could be in trouble, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And so what I enjoyed about that fact is you rarely ever find 4 people who are all the same level of play. So you can show new people how to play, and that new person could actually win because they find the Gatling gun, or they get the rocket launcher, or they just get, and I go and attack, and the big monster kills me 3 times in one game. So I personally really like that factor, and so when I'm selling it, I go, well, this is just more fun. It's a little less strategic because there's more of this luck factor, but it's just more fun for people.
Like a deck building game that has a more casual aspect to it. And casual games are very popular, and it's really, especially I think for families.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was thinking about was Resident Evil is such a dynamite license, and being able to bring, a lot of kids know Resident Evil, so it's something that and now with parents, this whole generation, I'm about to have my own kid. I grew up with Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 2, amazing video games, and then seeing, and then being able to transition them into the games that I love, face-to-face games. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. The only issue we had with Resident Evil was just because you're killing zombies with guns and stuff. So we were obviously targeting a little bit older, but it was still, all kids play Resident Evil, even though it's rated M for mature or whatever. But just killing zombies, it was a fun game, and we try to create more interaction, different styles of play. That's why you see different modes. So it's just, it kind of jump-started us where we can be successful in this category, get licenses that we really like. And Resident Evil, it was kind of surprising that it was just available. No one was really looking at it at the time. Maybe they are now, but for the board game category, no one was really looking at it. And it's been a very good license, very good game for us.
Can you talk a little bit about how the setup of the game, the layout, kind of mimics the going through the mansion?
Okay, well, I'm not a huge Resident Evil video game player, but basically, we're using our ammo and our gold to acquire better and better weapons, and then explore the mansion and try to kill the big boss zombie, basically, or the infected. And you could decide. Oh, and we use the different characters from the video game. So that was the other aspect that was kind of neat is, even though we have the same options, our character might make it better for us to go a certain route, like buy knives instead or buy machine guns or pistols. So to master the game, you had to master every single character. And so every single character might have a different play style. And I don't know if you've been playing competitively for a while with a lot of people. I mean, our group of game testers, they play this game so fast. So you have to make your deck as good as possible in like 6 turns, or else you're going to lose to these guys. And so, so we always see the board layout, and it's cool that you can change the board layout, and maybe we have to buy shotguns because that's the best weapon available this time. The other time it's magnums, so we kind of like that aspect, that it always changes. And that's the great thing about deck building game category. You can make these different scenarios and change the game, so what you were good at is no longer viable, so you got to switch your strategy. So but you're buying weapons to go explore the mansion. In the mansion you could potentially hit a big boss zombie or a trap. Now they've introduced traps and things like that. So, the luck factor's involved. So if you get lucky, you could just cruise through. But if you get very unlucky, you could actually potentially die in this game. And, you got to buy green herbs in order to heal you. I think they did a good job, because the lead designer Tyler Allender is a very big Resident Evil video game fan. And Bandai's goal is always to make it mimic the feel of the video game. And that's why the mansion door aspect was really cool, because you don't know what's behind the mansion door.
Yeah, and it's very reminiscent, for those who have played the video game, of the whole, if you remember, we said I wasn't a huge Resident Evil fan, but in the video game, when you actually go through a door, it closes up on the door, and then the door creaks open, and then you have no idea what's on the other side, and that's kind of a neat way of mimicking that.
Yeah, so we almost just lucked into that. This is cool if you don't know what's behind the door. And then when we started designing it, we go, actually, this is more fun because we don't know what's going to happen, versus a Thunderstone where it's laid out for you, so there's no surprise that happens. And so that is what made it fun. We'd laugh because you got killed by the zombie again. One of the times when somebody dies 3 times by the big boss. What are the odds of hitting the boss 3 times? So it's just fun to do it that way. So
that's awesome, James. Thank you very much for the interview. I really appreciate it. Super informative.
Okay, sure, no problem. And Resident Evil Alliance came out, but Resident Evil Outbreak is coming out around the end of August, early September. And to me, this is the most fun, because in this one you have the risk of turning into a zombie if you don't be active. But if you do turn into a zombie, you get to play as a zombie and potentially kill your other opponents.
That sounds awesome. That sounds totally great.
So this is definitely my favorite version, because it's fast, because you can't just sit around and wait, or else you'll turn into an infected. And then when you do turn into infected, everybody goes, we better kill that guy or he's going to kill us. So it becomes that interaction among the players of oh, well, if you attack me, I'm going to kill and turn into a zombie, and then you don't know what's going to happen. So it's just a lot of fun. It's my favorite version.
That's awesome. It sounds like you guys are adding a whole lot of stuff. Actually, on PlayOnPlug.com, we're going to be doing a review of Alliance soon. So we got ourselves a copy of Alliance. We'll be reviewing it soon. And once again, James, it was great meeting you. Thank you so much for talking about Resident Evil, and I'm sure folks are going to be excited about it. Enrico Nardini for Play Unplugged, signing out.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Keep playing the game and have fun.